Injection molding salesman tries to scam our family company into giving him €3,600 worth of equipment. It happened today, and I have to share maybe at this subreddit. People would appreciate a story like this. I am a 22-year-old woman who just graduated as an engineer. After my graduation, my father, who is also an engineer, wanted to give me some money to help me start the life I was working for in the past years. Mind you, we live in Europe, so he wasn't paying for my education. But he also wanted to make me kind of earn it, and at the same time help me with the start of my career. He has a small injection molding company and had some machines that were not used in the past decade. So my job was simply to sell these machines and then get a certain percentage of commission. Meanwhile, I can work with people in the field because I really want to work in the same field with plastics as my father. I searched for months and months to find a company who is a big-time seller and would charge us nothing less than the price we were asking for. These are companies that usually charge for commissions, too. I found our guy, a salesman. Let's call him Steve. Steve did not seem amazingly competent at his field, and I noticed it immediately, even though I'm a beginner also in the industry. He asked questions about stuff that was written down previously and were easy to interpret if you know just a little about injection molding machines, or just searched it on Google. Furthermore, he wanted us to pack an almost 4 meters high machine into a way smaller truck because he did not want to pay us for dismantling it. And with that, he also risked the machine falling off of his truck, not to mention a fine if the authorities catch him with the dangerous transportation of a machine that weighs 8 tons. But whatever his company paid for it, he is the one who's bad at logistics. The last machine's delivery to another company happened 2 months ago. Today I received an email. Hi, this is Steve. So the other company we sold your IM machine to is complaining that when they unpacked it, the machine did not contain the temperature controlling units. Please help us solve this problem and satisfy the other company and send us the units that were left off free of charge. Insert the other company's email here in plain text in English. He did not even bother translating it, just copied it from the other email. We are not native English speakers, and he wasn't either. This is just simply rude and unpretentious. Hi, Steve. It is me, Op. The 3 temperature controlling units were not in the deal that we sent you and you paid for. They are separate machines with separate serial numbers that are not the part of the IM machine. We just sold you the IM machine with the serial number of XSS. Hi, it is Steve. We talked it through with our customer, and they are really angry still. Even you, a girl in the industry, would understand that the machine could not be used without the temperature controlling units. I hope it is understandable even for you. The pictures you sent us of the machine months ago contained the units, and we thought those were the part of the deal, and an IM machine couldn't work without them. Because of the picture you sent us contained the units, you must send them to us free of charge, urgently. Also, here's a picture of another machine our customers bought back in 2014, and it had the units when they were unpacked. Apparently I got angry at him for pulling the "you are just a girl you wouldn't know" card, and the fact that he is asking for 3 temperature controlling units that are €1,200 each. My final answer to him was, "Hi Steve, it is Op. You, as someone working in this field, also should know, even if you're a man, that electricity is also a must for an IM machine, and we didn't provide that either. Oh, and a mold for injection molding was on the picture too. Either that was not sent. We would gladly send you the units if you can point out the part of the contract where the serial numbers of the units are as the proof that we sold them to you. We just sold you the IM machine." Story 2. Body Shop Tales. 5. My car isn't totaled, and you're going to put it back together, and insurance will pay for everything. This happened about last year at the body shop where I work now, before my state went into COVID lockdown protocols. We were doing a lot of business. But as anyone in the auto body repair industry will tell you, not every vehicle is worth fixing. I've dealt with a lot of total loss situations in my time. This is one of the ones that takes the cake. This lady, let's call her military wife or MW, came to the shop with a damaged front end on her 2016 Acura ILX. Our lobby was open at the time. I happened to be at the front desk filling in for our receptionist, doctor's appointment, and when MW walked in, she smelled like she had bathed in designer perfume but still reeked of alcohol. She asked where her rental car was and huffed like the big bad wolf when I asked her first and last name. MW groaned like she was pushing a wheelbarrow full of bricks up a hill to tell me her first and last name and that she was dropping off her car for her insurance. Since the rental car wasn't at our shop yet, I told her that I would check in her vehicle and get her paperwork done. NW. You can look at my Acura, but I'm not signing anything until my rental is here.
Y'all aren't allowed to touch my Acura until I say so. I wish I could provide photos, but I happen to like my job. The entire right front side was crushed from front bumper to rear door. I was 90% confident that the right frame rail was bent in. MW said that after the accident, her husband, who she told me was a retired master sergeant, had to replace the right front tire with a spare just so she could drive the Acura into the shop. According to the insurance claim assignment, MW had hit the side barrier on the interstate the night before dropping off her vehicle. According to MW, someone must have hit her Acura, and she was disputing the damage with the other party's insurance.
When the rental company arrived, MW came back into the shop and complained about the rental. Can you make sure to notate that my rental car is filthy and smells like alcohol and piss? The rental company agent, MW, and I walked out to the rental, and outside of some light dirt on the carpets, I didn't notice any smells, stains, or dirt. I told MW that I didn't notice anything. So I'm a liar? This is not professional service. I quickly added that I was suffering from seasonal allergies, fake sniffle, and I would document her concerns but couldn't smell anything. I shrugged my shoulders helplessly at the rental company agent, and MW left. I assigned the Acura to our shop's best technician for teardown, and sure enough, it needed a frame right and a few right suspension parts. With all the operations and the damages, through the right side, the repairs were going to cost $13,000. I called MW with the cost of repairs and sent up the estimate and photos to her insurance the day after she dropped off. The next day, her insurance asked for photos to condition or assess the total loss value. I sent them the same day, including photos of all the options on her vehicle. MW came to the shop 3 days later, livid, and marched into my office. "You are not totaling my Acura. How dare you lie to me about repairing my Acura and then try to total it behind my back, and you're trying to steal money from me? What kind of business is this?" After getting MW to calm down and sit down, along with the receptionist and 2 of my fellow estimators, MW explained that her insurance had called to cut off the rental, said that the car was totaled based off the estimate, and sent her their conditioning sheet. Despite the photos I had sent of her Acura, insurance company had missed a navigation system that added value to her vehicle. Not much, but enough for MW to complain about. I explained that the insurance, not our shop, was totaling the vehicle and had missed the navigation. MW, it doesn't matter. My Acura is worth more than the $10,000 they offered me. I have a $14,000 loan on my Acura. They're either paying off that loan or fixing my Acura. Usually, total loss situations like this get squashed when people hear frame or engine damage. In my experience, people usually understand that it is very complicated to repair damaged structural frame parts, and it is only rarely approved by insurance companies. Not MW, GM, and I went to the Acura with MW and went over the estimate line by line with each part in clear view. We spent over 30 minutes talking to her. Not only did MW still believe her insurance would pay off the loan, but she was absolutely furious that we had taken parts off her vehicle. Front bumper, right headlight, right fender, and disassembled the right front door. She demanded that we put everything back together so she could drive her Acura home. GM was very firm. Our shop does not put back together totaled vehicles for any insurance claim. Over the next 3 days, MW called every single day to demand that we put damaged parts back on her Acura. She threatened to file a BBB complaint and even to sue the shop, claiming that we were trying to sell parts from her Acura. Yes, I took every one of those calls, and yes, I spent at least 10 minutes per call refuting her accusations. Despite that, MW told her insurance that I was incompetent, didn't know what I was doing, and was giving her a runaround. When I wasn't talking to MW about her car, I had to talk to insurance claims agents who had an earful of her. By the following Monday, I guess MW had had enough. MW arrived at the shop with her teenage son, her adult daughter, and her husband. They all sat in the front office like angry lumps on a log until GM and I came up to them. MW jumped out of her seat. "I've had enough of being lied to and run around. I want my Acura put back together now, and I want it now, and—" At this point, I snapped. I lost my professional cool. "I will bring your car with every single part that belongs in it in 10 minutes. Now go wait outside." MW's husband started to speak up. "I said all of you go wait outside." I personally put every single part, bumper, headlight, fenders, door trim, inside the Acura. even the clips that the technician kept stashed in his stall. Since the door glass had been removed, I wrapped it in plastic wrap and put it in the front seat. I drove the Acura back around to MW and placed the keys in her hand. MW's husband. Now wait a minute. You said you would put everything back together on it. You just said that. What kind of scam are you running? I calmly told him and MW that we do not put damaged parts back on vehicles when they've been removed. You have every single part that was on your car now inside your car. You may choose to have those parts put back on by another shop, but we will not do it. You are no longer welcome at this shop. You may leave. They left. MW's insurance paid us for the disassembly. Out of curiosity, I asked a claims rep how things had turned out a few days ago. IIRC? MW settled with the insurance last summer but lost even more money due to additional miles she added. CLDR. Drunk military wife is upside down on car loan and wants vehicle fixed. Insurance company refused and she gets mad that we won't fix her car at all.